Welcome into the DGD podcast. As always, Robert Reynolds, Kobe Pierce, Keon will be joining shortly. It's Auburn Hate Week. We are in the midst and in the middle of Auburn Hate Week. Kobe, it has a personal touch to you. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good. I had a talk with a buddy today. We were talking about a little bit of gambling, a little bit of lines and stuff like that, and spreads. And he was asking me, did I think Dawgs cover this weekend? Lines 14, or at least open at 14. I'm not sure what it's kind of floated from. I think it's floated up a little bit. I think it's at like 15 and some change now, maybe. But I told him I think we cover this weekend. I think we cover pretty easily, pretty convincingly. I know Jordan Hare can be a tough place to play. But I watched Auburn play Texas A&M. I watched Auburn play, California. I just don't think they have the team. I mean, there's a team that doesn't have a quarterback, basically. And if there's one thing I know about a Kirby Smart ran defense, a Glenn Schumann, a Will Muschamp ran defense, that we're going to stop the run and we're going to make you try to throw the ball and be one-dimensional like we did to Robbie Ashford last year.
It's funny you say that. It's funny you say that, trying to make them throw the ball. Fun fact for you. In the past 5 Power 5 matchups, they have not been able to crack 100 yards passing.
And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised. Games like this always worry me that you're going to see every trick play in the book they got, every double pass, every dink, dunk, screen, throwback. It's just like Alabama of old. You make someone's whole year if they can be tied with you at halftime, if they can be leading at halftime, if maybe they make it closer than it should have been at the end. I mean, that is their goal. You talk about South Carolina, you talk about Shane Beamer at the end of the game. Well, we were kicking their ass at halftime, and we should have kicked their ass in the second half. Well, Shane, you didn't. Got your ass kicked in the second half. You toted that L on home, buddy. So,
yeah. There you go, sir. It's Auburn week. I'm gonna let you get anything to say as we prepare for Saturday.
We finna lay belt to ass. I'm excited. We about to get ankle deep in somebody's anal cavity, and it's about to be that Auburn Tiger War Eagle, okay? Covering the spread, we finna make them drop down and get that eagle on, okay? It's It's about to get nasty. Chitlins.
Yeah, like legitimately got nasty work put up in here just by Keon. Thank you for that. Got very detailed and rightfully so because they get what they deserve.
Hey, if you watch this podcast, you know you probably shouldn't be watching with your kids.
We try to
No, not at all.
We try to be kid friendly.
No, we don't.
That coming from a man that threw the bird up 3 separate times on Monday.
I mean, it's Auburn, dude. I can't.
Trying to tell you.
This I cannot lie.
Talking about kid friendly.
Explain.
Yeah, I can't even make up that lie. I can't even make up that lie.
Listen, you didn't see anything, kids. It's okay. It's like terrible look, but whatever. It's Auburn. To hell with them. I've heard worse.
Right.
You should see how he gets on Florida Week.
We've seen worse.
Yeah, Florida Week, he's ugly.
Oh no, it's about to get nasty.
He's an ugly.
I'm going to that game too.
Oh, it's downright disgusting.
I believe the first 5 minutes of the Monday of Florida Week, and maybe it was the Wednesday, it was double birds. No. F you, F your fan base, your band, everybody.
Oh no, I think 2 years ago, man. Well, I'm ready for this. I know we're talking Auburn, but I can't wait for Keon's first Gator Haters Ball. It's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be.
No, I'm gonna be in the building.
Yeah.
Now, when we do the podcast, I need y'all to understand. I'm eating live. Well, not live Gator, but I'm eating Gator live on the show.
Okay.
Live on the show.
We need
with a side of ranch dipping sauce.
All right, before we move on, I do need to say, Adonis, I know you're on the back of a milk carton, but we welcome you on for the Gator Haters Ball, so you can pick Albie. You know, I mean, we've had breaking decommitments from Albert the Alligator. We've had it all. So looking forward to that for sure. But we got some Eagle to talk about. I think I want to go back to that stat. 5 previous matchups, Power 5. They haven't thrown for 100 yards. That, if you're an Auburn fan, that is downright concerning. And if I'm a Georgia fan and we break that streak and they give up 100 yards, I'm going to be a little bit upset because I think we got something to prove on that regard. That's just me. Do you have anything to say on that?
Whatever we throw out for the over under for the sack total, we should hit. At least.
I wouldn't say
at least for the under.
I wouldn't even say a sack. Now, I think they've rotated in guys, Thorne and Ashford. We saw last year that Ashford will roll out and scramble and throw it away. He's been known to throw it away a ton. So I don't expect a lot of sacks from him if he's in the game. But if Thorne is in the game, I do think you make his ass uncomfortable quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I just wanted to interject there.
Yeah, it's going to be a very weird game. I'm not going to lie to you guys, in all honesty. But
all right, I got some
still belt to ass.
I got some statistics from last year for you.
Oh,
Robbie Ashford, 13 for 38, 165 yards, 1 touchdown. Robbie Ashford also leading rusher, 9 carries, 52 yards. They finished.
Hey, that's impressive.
They finished with 25 carries for 93 yards.
Almost.
We finished with Stetson Bennett 22 for 32 for 208. Branson Robinson 12 carries for 98 yards and a touchdown. Dejon Edwards 12 carries, 83 yards and 3 touchdowns. Stetson Bennett 3 carries, 64 yards, 1 touchdown. That included his that was his long 64-yard run for a touchdown. Kenny Mack.
Oh yeah, when he outran the whole defense. Yeah, you're right.
Boy, Carson Beck could have made that touchdown run.
Kenny Mack 8 carries with a tud. We ran for 292 and 6 tuds.
Woo. Hold on, guys. So breaking, right? I know we're talking Georgia football, but in Atlanta Braves news, if you are a Braves fan, Ronald Acuna just hit 40-70 mark. And as I say that, Project Pat comes in the building. See, look at that, Pat fact. Look at that. What did I say? Look at that. Acuna, now the first and only member of the – that's 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases. That is absolutely fucking nuts. Nuts.
Shout outs to everybody whose baseball team is doing well.
That's just hard to believe. That's hard to fathom that, man.
Please tell me you're a Mets fan.
No, I'm a Yankee fan.
At least most of the people in Atlanta can forgive you for that.
I suppose.
Yeah. No, I had an uncle who played for the Yankees. So.
Oh, so there's a tie there. Okay, I'll give a slide for that. Okay.
Plus, my mom's from New York, so it kind of happens.
I'll slide on that one. It's whatever. Anyways, back to football. Kobe, you brought up all those rushing stats. I don't see us rushing like that this year. Keys to victory. My first key to victory. Hit that shit vertical. Get it going. Beat them deep. Go from there.
You did that wrong. So
I'm gonna
run it all the way back, right?
Get vertical. Air it out.
Exactly. There it is. We going vertical on that shit. North.
Yeah. There's also a chance you see Ladd come back. I'm not saying he was going to have a breakout game because I think he's got to get back into game shape. But he's going to make a difference for somebody. Watch. A receiver's going to have a breakout game, and it's just, I don't know who it is, but somebody will if his ass plays. Just going to leave that there.
I think this gives a good chance again. I know we were all hyped, and boy, were we wrong. Hold that on the chin.
Yeah.
I think we were all hyped and thought that Bobo was going to embarrass South Carolina if given the chance. I think we thought that between him and Muschamp, there was a lot of hatred. Bobo's got a little chance for some redemption here playing Auburn. We played him in 2021. I think he scored on the first opening drive against us, and it was basically nothing after that for him the rest of the game. So I think it's a good chance for Bobo to obviously Kirby SEC play. We're going to open it up a little bit more than we've been playing, but I see us scoring a couple more points maybe early and often, like you're saying. I think we're going to air it out. But if Dejon Edwards is healthy, I think you can look for him to have a solid 100-yard rushing game this game as well.
I love having a head coach that was a former player on the team that hates these rivals more than what we do. I love that. I love a coach that fully understands the rivalry and fully commits to the, hey, fuck you. Brought to you by the Georgia Bulldogs.
I don't know if you get a how about them fucking dogs after the press conference, but I'd love it if it happened again. That's just my thoughts.
But I agree, Keon. I think that's so important because I think you see it as different games as different teams get different coaches, as different games kind of lose a little bit of that rivalry. This is me speaking very personally. This is an opinion. This game has lost a little meaning when it got moved up in the year for me. Like I am never as excited for the Auburn game. The fact we're playing it the last week in September. I mean,
feels wrong. It feels so wrong.
Cold night in November, packed house. I mean, I was obviously not that many. I'm not that old. A lot of Auburn games on cold November nights. I mean, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen. There just takes away a little bit of that specialty when we're going to play in the 5th game of the year, we're going to clap that, and then we're going to forget about you.
I do wonder though, for what it's worth, with the new conference realignment or the SEC realignment, right? The divisionless situation. I wonder if scheduling keeps us around the same time frame, or with the new scheduling, do we move it back? Since I don't know, I'm just thinking. I think it may stay the same, but I don't want it to be, man. I really don't. I wanted that November matchup. It's so much more fun.
Robert, I'm about to ask you a pre-production question live on the air. So apologies before this question gets asked. That picture, and you know which one I'm talking about. The one you sent me that I asked of you. Please tell me you have that in the queue somewhere.
At the moment, no. I can get it put up in the queue. So let's talk about that later.
Yes. Stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned. Visual representation of what this, Georgia Auburn game is going to look like. Stay tuned.
But just following up with it still, I mean, it's no different than Hugh Freeze talking about this rivalry, talking about that he doesn't really fully understand what it means, what it means to Auburn. I mean, he hadn't really been a coach there. And then he also just doesn't keep up with, football. That is the one thing about coaches that is funny sometimes. Obviously, you are very invested in, being the head coach at Liberty, to where he's sitting there asking the media, he's like, well, how long did it take Kirby to have success over at Georgia? 3-4 years, something like that? And he goes, somebody fact check that. And then a reporter goes, he played in the national championship year 2. And he goes, no way. He's like, that's not right. He goes, y'all need to check that again. And it's, how do you not know that?
It was a beautiful moment because you got to see in real time a dumbass display that he is a dumbass in front of the world. Like, oh no, it can't be right, is what I think he said verbatim. And it's like, no, that happened. Yeah, he's that good, believe it or not. He
went 8-5 and then went 13-2 the next year. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
With a bad referee job for being 14-1.
It's absolutely nuts. Yeah. It's crazy to think how that played out though.
It would have been
100%.
It would have been completely different. It probably, I'm not saying it would have cost you the natties that we've won since then, but I mean, it probably leaves Fromm there a little longer. And speaking of Fromm, that's
Fuck
a bad transition.
Fuck
That's a bad transition. Speaking of Fromm,
that's what them dogs about to do.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna look like. So
that's what them dogs gonna do.
Yeah, it's speaking of Fromm.
Tear that ass up. Tear that ass up.
Robert set me up for that.
I just got it queued up. We had to get it ready to go. Just perfect timing. Can't help that.
Yeah.
We'll pull it up at the end just to make sure people understand what they're getting themselves into Saturday.
Oh, 100%. This is going to be sponsored by Pornhub, Bang Bros, and all.
Sorry, kids.
Probably CBS.
PBS, let's go. Oh, God.
Oh, they said the lubrication will be televised.
I felt like Ice Cube dropping a diss track. No Vaseline.
No Vaseline?
God damn, I just set it off.
Used to be hard, now you went soft.
Hey, it's for the culture, guys. It's for the culture.
Yeah, it's for the culture, man. It's for the culture.
Oh, shit. Yep.
Shit.
Jeff's bringing an over-unders coming up soon. I'll take that. Comment. Hey, if y'all have an over-under for us to discuss, drop them in the comments. Man, what's going on? Just in time. Yeah, you may have missed the graphic. We'll bring it back up. Stay tuned.
I got something for you
stay tuned.
I got something we can discuss that I think everybody'd love to hear about, and
what you got?
Even the chat can say too. What's your favorite Georgia Auburn memory? What game?
I'll go.
You go first.
I'll go with Uga almost biting a player's nuts off. That was my favorite moment of the game.
He got what he deserved to, because he's in Auburn jersey. Fuck him.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
That was when Juan playing back then? I think that was 95, 96. Yeah. Well, I think Juan played in that game, maybe.
That's my favorite game that I like to go back to, because it's like I try to go back for that very exact moment.
I'm going blackout, man. No Sean Marino tore that ass up. Massaquita Stafford, Stafford to Massaquoi, excuse me. A deep touchdown pass. Papa Vern. Massaquoi, wide open, touchdown, Georgia Bulldogs. I was like, okay. And he tore that ass up that night too in black jerseys. I'll take it.
I think that
Soulja Boy
picture's from 1996. I think Juan
was there. Juan was 93 to 96.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a little closer to 99 for some reason.
Know your co-host, man. Damn.
I mean, we haven't seen Juan.
Sorry, he's on the back of a milk carton. Speaking of milk is delicious.
I would say my favorite, probably 2016, which is going to be like just a weird one. They're a top 10 team. We're terrible. We're already like a 4-loss team at this point. We've lost to Vandy. We've lost to Auburn, or we've lost to Tennessee on the Hail Mary. They come in, top 10 team, playoff hopes. You know, I think they're a 1-loss team at the time. Maybe they're like number 8 or 6 or something. And they score no touchdowns the whole game. And I don't think we do either, but we end up catching the pick 6 to win. Just was a moment in time where like
that wasn't Mo
Smith.
It was okay.
Pick 6. That was a time where like I think a lot of the guys were starting to realize like, okay, not only is what we're doing slowly beginning to work, but also like this guy Mo Smith who's come over wasn't even good enough really to start consistently at Alabama. Like this is the level of play it takes to be a national contender kind of thing. I think a lot of things started clicking kind of after that Auburn game.
Yeah, that game was kind of interesting because like outside of Mo Smith, it was just weird. Like you said, it was a weird game.
Yeah. It was a night game in Sanford. First one I think we had since Tennessee, and to be on the sideline for Tennessee and how heartbreaking that was, and then to be on the sideline as Mo's like taking that at the house.
Speaking of defense, I want to transition what we need to look for Auburn. Listen, their offense might be anemic and lethargic, but their defense isn't that bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think that's something that Georgia has to keep in mind. I think front seven wise, I think more so than anything. But, you know, if we move anything away from the defense, I mean, that offense just becomes complete rat ass. Like, it's not good. So I do think if you're watching out for anything specifically, you know, if you're a Georgia fan and kind of have any kind of concerns, it might be the defensive pressure up front. So I think this is a good test for offensive line, you know, just to make sure that you don't get bullied, in my opinion. If you can assert yourself and move the line of scrimmage, reset the line of scrimmage. Kobe, you mentioned Dejon having 100+. Listen, I think he had back-to-back 100 rushing yard games. No, that was Swift. Sorry, I saw that stat in my phone. I think there's a good chance that you see us run the ball well, but I do think we have. I want to see us take some shots too. I think Bobo. Listen, Bobo. I need to get Juan on this. He'll be in on the case, but Juan will get Bobo's ear and say, "Hey, air that bitch. Let's go. Get it right."
No, I need absolute mayhem on defense, right? And I need us to be calling in nothing but airstrikes on offense.
Sound like bombs over Baghdad. Calm down.
Yeah.
Okay, so some more statistics for all you watching or listening. This is amazing. I haven't like sat down and looked at this hard yet. Last week against Texas A&M, who just got throttled by Miami, Peyton Thorne was 6 of 12 for 44 yards.
Sorry,
that scared me.
Robbie Ashford.
that's my
1 for 4 for 4 yards. And
Holden,
yeah.
Gariner.
I don't even know your last name, Holden. 2
Gariner,
for 7 for 8 yards. They had 56 yards through the air.
I'm so proud of you.
That's unbelievable. They ran the ball for 144, but the more important part is what they gave up on defense. They gave up 200 yards through the air and 2 touchdowns between Wegman and Max Johnson, and then they gave up 210 on the ground. 2 guys basically for Texas A&M almost had 100 yards apiece.
Boy, that sounds like somebody that got that ass tore up. Just gonna leave that there. It's gonna tearing that ass. Let's go. Just gonna leave that there.
Visual representation of what we're about to do to Auburn. Sorry for the phone call, guys. But as you can tell,
I just like the ringtone. It got me ready to go.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Give me the battle hymn though. Make it happen.
I tried to find it. I really
It's almost
did.
impossible. You'd have to record it like your old phones back in like mid 2000s.
You know what statistic gets me excited reading this too? Texas A&M, 7 sacks, 15 tackles for loss.
Dude, you know the problem though, man. Like, is this concerning to you guys? The fact that we've only got a couple sacks this season so far. Like, is it concerning? Or I think it's the nature of the game, the way people play us, and game plan against our defense. But to me, though, you would like to see more sacks. I know it's not end all be all, but I mean, I definitely think I want to see more tackles for loss, considering how teams are playing against us. You know what I mean? So if I'm you, I'm not. If I'm a normal fan, I'm not concerned about the sacks, pressures, and tackles for loss because they're getting the ball out of their hands, pass breakups, like things like that. Here we go. Dogman's making he's calling a shot. Calling a shot here. Dogman says, first play versus Auburn. Play action, bomb to Arian, or lad for a tutty. I think you know what though? I think, is it weird for me to say, I think we run the ball on the first down?
I think we do too, just to assert our dominance, and then try to get them bullied up front.
All depends on the coin flip. Depends who gets the ball first.
Honestly.
Yeah, true.
We also have 5 sacks through 4 games.
5 sacks through 4 games. Okay. It's not terrible.
Look at us, ahead of the curve.
Well, I mean, also, like last week, if you watched the game last week, the last thing he was going to let us do was sack anybody. I think the most disappointing sack performance probably came against South Carolina. I think that we probably should have had 5 sacks against South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here we go, guys. Who's ready for some over or under? Jeff bringing them in. He says over under Beck with 296 yards passing. Over or under? Over. Keon says. Kobe says under. I'm going to say slightly under.
I think we're going to run the ball a little too
That's
much.
my thought too. Over under 2.5 sacks. I'm gonna go under, but I'm gonna go 2.
I'm gonna go that we're gonna get home because you're gonna force them to have to be in situations where they have to throw the ball, and I just think that they're inept.
That's a good point.
I'm gonna say over. We're gonna get more than 2.5 sacks.
I'm gonna go under. I think we get 2. I think they use Ashford a little bit more too, even if he's not that great of a passer. I think it helps them with some kind of a run game.
Come on, 3.
Over under 1.5 picks.
Under.
I think we go 1. I think we go 1.
I think throw the ball. So I think that they won't. The problem is they can't throw the ball, so I worry that they won't throw the ball enough to get 2 picks.
Okay, I'll say under.
Okay, I got under as well. I think we do get a pick though. If I have to choose, I'm gonna say. I want to say Tyke because Tyke's been balling the fuck out, but I'm gonna go Lassiter this time because they've got some big bodies on the outside.
I got Malachi.
Tyke would love that. It would be his 4th interception.
Dude, he's been balling out, man. He's been balling the fuck.
Dude, can you believe that talent? Can you believe that talent was at West
Virginia?
West Virginia?
Not Fran, bro. A die. Excuse me.
Fran was at
A day. Coach a day.
Yeah.
Over under Beck 2.5 tutties passing. Over
easy.
I go 3.
Go up.
I got 3.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Hear me out though. I'm starting to get questions because I want to see that right there. I want to see us take shots vertically. But it's a matter of efficiency. And once we get into the red zone, do we run the ball? So I get worried about that number.
I worry he'll throw for 2 and we'll run for the rest.
That's what I'm wondering.
That's kind of that Kirby Smart.
I'm going to go over to be optimistic. I'm going over to be optimistic, but I'm going 3. Over under Lovett with 66 yards.
Over.
Under until proven otherwise.
Over.
See, if this was Rosemary Jack Saint, I'd say over. But for the sake of Lovett, this game, over. I think you see it on a deep bomb. Let's go. I think we get it.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna call my shot. We take a deep shot to Lovett.
Gotta catch them when they come your way, though.
Hey, listen, if I'm not mistaken, Lovett had a deep bomb over somebody last season. I forgot who it was though. It was Tennessee. Sorry, it was Tennessee. My bad. I think you can see a vertical shot there with him for sure. So I'm gonna say 66 yards over. I think he gets it a deep shot and then some underneath routes. I think that happens. I might be wrong.
I got one for you.
What's up?
Over or under 1.5 fumbles we cause.
Under. I think we get one.
Probably one at the most.
That's something that I'm kind of concerned about too, slightly. Not terrible, but we haven't been getting the ball on the ground that much. Maybe that's just me overthinking, but I just don't feel like we've gotten a lot of turnovers. We had picks. I mean, we had the 3-pick game, whatnot. But
so have we heard confirmation that Ashford's starting at quarterback?
I don't think he's starting. I think they still kind of rotate him in, what it seems to be.
Okay. Well, who would like to hear what Peyton Thorne brings to the table?
Oh, do tell.
I would.
Do tell.
Game 1 versus UMass. 10 of 7 for 144 yards, 1 touchdown. So an okay. Game versus Cal, 9 for 14 for 94 yards. Rough. 2 touchdowns and a pick. They beat Samford. He has a little bit better of a game. Obviously, it's Samford. Throws for like 285. But he only throws for 1 touchdown, and he still that's the game he throws 2 of his 3 picks on the season. And then against Texas A&M, he only attempts 12 passes, completes 6 of them for 44 yards, is sacked 5 times, throws no touchdowns, but also no interceptions as well. Peyton Thorne, ladies and gentlemen.
God, that's an amazing stat line. Heisman.
It's fucking garbage.
Heisman. Let's go. Heisman.
What's crazy? It's just crazy, like different guys over different years. He had such a good year in 2021. Like statistically speaking, I guess.
I mean, it must be the Auburn effect.
Threw for 3,300 yards, 27 touchdowns.
Oh, he's the next Bo Nix.
Nah, don't disrespect Bo.
No, you're right. Bo Nix actually, has a coordinator that can actually.
No, Bo Nix actually made plays when he was at Auburn. Maybe not against Georgia, but he had made plays against other people. That stat line tells me not a damn thing about that guy except he ain't shit.
Right.
This is me. Guys, let's make some predictions. Unless we see some over-unders from Jeff again. Who do you think will be the main – okay. So Dogman says Thorne is starting. He looked it up. So there's confirmation. Let's do some predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any hot takes for the game, first of all? And then we're going to make our player of the game predictions. Any takes that you want to call your shot, per se?
Only shot I think I would call would be that field goal kicker gets a chance to make one 45+, kind of get back on track this week.
Not too bad about that.
Brock Bowers touchdown.
So you're guaranteeing a Brock Bowers touchdown. Pick 6.
I like that. Here's the real question. Who is it?
Well, Lassiter. I called Lassiter with my pick, so I'm going to go pick 6.
Okay.
Six. I think for me, though, listen, I think you see that when they're forced to throw. I think Lassiter is good at baiting folks, right? I know Starks is for sure, but they're going to the receivers that Auburn has. They're big bodied receivers, and I think what's going to happen is he's going to throw an errant pass, and Lassiter will break off underneath and catch it and take it to the house. Probably with maybe a 30, 40 yard interception return. Thought that might be something interesting. Do we see any breakaway run touchdowns? Any shot of that?
If we do, it's Dylan Bell. I think if you see a big run like 40 plus for a tud, it's going to be like a Dylan Bell some outside zone with Dylan Bell.
You ready for this? Might be wrong. So be it. But this is why you make takes. Carson Beck rushes for 30 yards or more. Scrambling.
Oh, that's money.
I hope not.
No, I wanted to see him pass, but I'm just saying. I think there will be some open. Listen, if you call it right, listen. If you see that same situation that Stetson had, there's no way he doesn't break 30 yards on that play alone. Not saying that same play happens. I'm just saying. It's a stretch, but I just want to see it happen. I'd be okay with if it did. Defensively, is there anything else? I called the pick six.
Defensive line. We're calling on you this play or this game. This play, Jesus. But this game.
Is there anybody that I think can get their first sack this season?
Jamal Jarrett.
I like it.
Calling.
I like it. I think Damon Wilson.
Calling.
I think Damon Wilson.
Oh,
I think Damon. But I'd like. Well, my thing is, I would like to see some Big Ja get a sack. Might hurt somebody. That boy's big.
Yeah, well, Damon Wilson, he just runs one speed.
Damon.
That's just fast downhill. That's it. He's just it's a lot moving downhill fast.
Kobe brought the special teams too. I think we punt it. Is there a situation where we don't punt it one time? Is that even a possibility?
Yes. I know I sound crazy right now, but yes.
You do sound crazy.
It would be quite the game if we didn't punt it.
Listen, if that is a second conference matchup and how we play from an offensive situation, things went right. And I mean in a very, very good way.
I mean, it would be some old-fashioned ass kickery if you don't punt a single
See, my thing is, though, too, is I don't see it happening just because if we have to rotate if we rotate guys backups in on offense. That's my thing.
I mean, there's a possibility that it could happen. The likelihood of it is kind of slim, but it could happen.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's going to happen.
For my sack person,
over under,
I would love to see Marvin Jones get a sack. I look at he doesn't have a sack yet.
Hell yeah.
Jeff says Gabe Harris. Look out for Gabe. I think that's another good name. It's another good name to call for. It'd be interesting. I mean, if you look at the pass rush ability, I'm on specific pass rush downs like third and medium, third and long. I feel like we've excelled, maybe not in the sack category, but creating the pressure to force incompletions, things like that. We've done a really good job at that.
So here's my question, right? When it comes to us punting, under 3.5.
Under.
I think you go 2,
under
3.
I like that.
Yeah. Guys, let's do our player of the game predictions before. Let's do our player of the game predictions before we jump into our DGD pick'em. Offensive and defensive, or do we just want to do one specific?
I think we all enjoy doing both sides.
Okay, fair enough.
Offensively,
okay,
offensively, I got Carson Beck. I think this is going to be the game that we really see him wheel and deal on the road. I'm also split that in Bell because this could also be a situation where we try to take pressure off of him and just really let Dylan run like a madman, let our running backs run like madmen. Defense, Tyke Smith, you can't leave that guy out. And I'll also split that with Kamari Lassiter. because I really do believe that Kamari is probably about to like house some shit. Like I don't know why, but I really do agree with you there. I have a strange feeling. Well, he's either gonna house some shit or it's gonna get close. If they're stupid enough to throw to his side, that's the biggest thing.
I mean, the thing is, I think when you look this season, it feels like Everett's been the guy that's been thrown to a lot, been tested, right? We saw that in years past with other DBs, and ultimately it panned out for the most part well because it kind of got them a lot of experience and stuff. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, I mean, I could see both of those guys really potentially having a break. Kobe, what do you got?
I'll put on my 1995 hat and tell you first road game in the SEC, need your offensive line to block well, need them to keep good holes for the running backs to run through, need him to keep Carson Beck clean. It's going to be his first road SEC start. He does not need to have happy feet. He does not need to be eyeballing check downs because he's feeling some pressure. Let that man sit back there, breathe, read our offense, and be able to look vertically down the field without feeling pressure, without wondering, am I about to get hit? So O-line needs to be some big old people movers, need to be able to run the ball at will, 5 yards a clip, and they need to keep him clean under, 2 sacks, probably 1 or less would be great. And then the other way, same thing. D-line, we already know they cannot throw the ball consistently, which means they are going to try to come out and establish some form of a run game early and often. The easiest way to shut that down is negative plays, tackles behind the line, fumbles, causing fumbles, disrupting plays, keeping them under, 2.5, 2.7 yards a rush. I think you can make it a really, really long game on Auburn if they also lack the ability to run.
My offensive pick, I'm going Dejon Edwards. Dejon Edwards, if he is the player of the game, he will have made things easy for Carson Beck running the ball. Having the running game get respected opens up less rush. Hopefully, I say that. But I think Dejon Edwards can go the fuck off this week. I think he goes off. Defensive, I've got Warren Brinson. Warren to me looked like he's getting better and better every week, and that is exactly what you need on that defensive line from it, especially from the interior. Right? You didn't have Michael last week. I think you do get Michael back. I would assume he comes back this week. Warren Brinson, you have to take advantage of that. I think you will. So you are my player of the game prediction for Auburn. Guys, before we get into DGD Pick'em, can't go without bringing up the sponsors. We're going to knock out both sponsors because we're going to shit in DGD Pick'em, and it's going to be hot and heavy. So let's keep that in mind. First things first, guys, there's no better way to start your morning than with our first sponsor, and that's Apotheos Roastery. Guys, Kennesaw, Georgia, located there. Just opened up an Alpharetta location in the Walmart there, Windward Parkway. I think it's 5200 Windward Parkway. Go check them out if you're in the Alpharetta area. If you're watching this, scan the QR code. It will take you to the link to get coffee, and 20% of every single bag or K-Cup thing that you get, 20% of each one goes to the Classic City Collective. Give them a follow at Apotheos Roastery on Instagram, at Apotheos Coffee on X/Twitter. Check them out. I'm telling you, best coffee. I'm just leaving it there. And also, Alumni Hall. You guys get geared up with game day, going to Alumni Hall. If you're in the Athens area, go in store, right? Go in the store, mention the show, and you'll get 10% off your order. Or you can go to our website, dgdpodcast.com, check the sponsors, go to the Alumni Hall, and go start shopping there today. And get yourself some gear for game day. It's that simple. Follow them on Twitter, X, and Instagram at Alumni Hall UGA. Thank you for the sponsor of the show, folks. Kobe, I wish Juan was here, but he is not. We're going to bring these rankings back up from week 4 through week 4. Might find some interesting things because there was a massive move, by the way. So here's your standings. So what we have now, we have a tie for first place. Kobe and Juan tied for first place. But that's not the move. Hey, guess what? You want to know who made the move? You want to know? This guy. This guy. I made the move. 1 point back with 36. Keon, you're bringing up dead last with the points for now. 33. And for
Revenge tour.
Oh, yeah. Brigade, something happened. What happened? I felt like some sabotage. 5-5. Kobe 1 and Keon both went 8-2. I went 9-1 and also hit my upset pick, getting me 11 points this week. This is what happens when you pick Bama over Ole Miss, folks. And I picked West Virginia. I think everybody's locks hit. Only my upset hit. And then obviously the Ohio State was extremely close. Keon, good pick there too. Good pick there. I say sabotage because in all seriousness, I see UTSA over Tennessee. I see Auburn over A&M. I see Iowa over Penn State. That's just three. The three like outliers to me. So if you're Twitter polls, that's how to decide the pick right there. Okay. If you don't want the sabotage and it means something to you, go vote because UTSA should not have won that vote, but that's what happened. And I'm not mad about it. So it's on you. It's on you. Julian Smith. Oh, Julian Smith. Welcome to the brigade. Says Jordan Hare is like Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. Strange things happen on the plains. I mean, listen, anybody that's
not with a quarterback that can't throw for 100 yards, they don't.
But he isn't wrong necessarily. They're not wrong. It is built on a voodoo graveyard. If you have only played there one time, you have no say in you can't judge us. If you don't, just go back to 2013. That's just simple as that. We'll leave it there. Just do your research. But that's a good pick. Thanks for the comment, Julian. I thought that was a very good point. We didn't even mention that. That's a strange place to play. Crazy shit happens. So keep in mind for that too. First things first, let's get into our first pick. Mizzou and Vanderbilt.
Everyone's favorite undefeated SEC East team.
I know, right? I know it's America's team. Here are the results. Anything surprising?
Nope.
Absolutely fucking
I think so. I think it's surprising that we're looking at it being possibly week 6 and Georgia, Missouri, and obviously we'll pick them in a minute, Kentucky being undefeated in the East and the only undefeated teams in the SEC. So
ain't that about a bitch?
Right.
So everybody picks Mizzou. For those listening, everyone went Mizzou. I think that's fair. Listen, Luther Burden is having a fucking good year. Their offense, now the defensive situation, I'm not necessarily sold on that defense, but offensively, they're airing it out. And so far, it's helped them win games.
The only thing that would make me hesitant, and I don't know if this is true, somebody in the chat, if you hear it and care enough, I thought I saw today somebody say that Brady Cook and Luther Burden may be hurt. If that is true, I would like a recount on my vote.
Mine too.
If they're missing their quarterback and Luther Burden, I'm gonna need a do-over.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to pick Vandy in that situation.
What if I told you all sales final, no refunds?
Damn.
Damon.
Then all I can tell you is I'm glad we all picked them.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the fun of doing it on Wednesday. It's called Hope and Pray. Next matchup. Oh man, the Crimson Tide taking on Mississippi State and that cowbell. Guys, is this anything that's going to be interesting? I think it could. Not necessarily sold on it, but everyone has Alabama in this matchup. Guys, I don't know how to feel about this. Is this a get-right game for Alabama?
Yes.
I think you have to get right game.
They can. I just don't think it's going to be. that competitive. I say that, but I mean they played USF to like a 7-point game for most of the game.
17-3 or something. Yeah.
And that was with a garbage time touchdown to get the 7.
Yeah.
I would say that if you let Mississippi State hang around, it could be a problem.
Dude, I'm just saying if we come back Monday and that pick is wrong, we've got some shit to discuss.
Like, oh my God, we got some shit to discuss.
Let me check.
I swear to God.
It's a nooner though, I think.
Maybe. It sounds right. My thing is this: if Alabama has any hope to even come close to competing in the SEC West for the title in the West, this is the game you have to get right. You have to get right on this. I just don't know if it happens.
It's an 8:00 kicker. So I mean, it's going to be dark. The cowbells will be ringing.
A bunch of fucking drunk. Oh shit!
I still think Alabama wins by 2 scores, but still.
Yeah, no. Like we look at the Ole Miss game for them, and they started to pull away, but I think that was more of a testament to just how bad Ole Miss looked too, because it wasn't like it was a game-changing performance by any means from Alabama. If Alabama doesn't get right this week, it could get ugly. Speaking of ugly,
14-point favorites.
I'm nervous to put money on that cover. I think it happens, but I'd be nervous to put money on that. Speaking of fucking ugly, goddamn Gators, traveling up to Lexington, taking on the Wildcats of Kentucky. Here's the results. Brigade, Keon, Kobe went Kentucky. Myself and Juan. We chose them Gators. We chose the Gators.
Okay. So when I said this is a get back week, this is how we get back. This right here is exactly how I close that gap. Let's do this.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm very concerned about putting my fate in Stoops. That'll be the only thing I say about that. My man is a certified choke job waiting to happen.
I'm just not sold on Kentucky as much, to be honest, right now. Like Lear, like I it's a home game, so there's that. But like, we have to start asking this question: is Florida somewhat real at this point or not?
Nope, not yet. We can't ask that question yet.
I mean, I think
we can't ask that question.
I think if they handle business this game, there's some questions to be had.
If they run the ball and play good defense, they have a real good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
I think it's too soon. We got to see how this plays out because, just like I was telling y'all before the season, that they have to beat Kentucky and Vanderbilt. This is that stretch. I
think it'd be a good matchup for what it's worth. The good thing is they don't get it in the cold up at Lexington either, though. Like, it shouldn't be that cold, I don't think, but neither here nor there. I think it'll be interesting to see how Mertz handles business up there. It's not a loud stadium. It's not a loud stadium, is it?
And I think this is the game that if you're Devin Leary, you have to show why you were worth the transfer. Like, so far, you've thrown 9 touchdowns, but you've also thrown 5 interceptions. You cannot have a game where you go like 1-1 or 1-2 on a touchdown interception. Like, you need to probably throw 3 and not give any back. And then Kentucky's going to be able to run the ball. I mean, they have 2 running backs averaging 6.3 yards per rush right now. So I think that Devin Leary, as long as you don't do anything to cost Kentucky the game, I think there are chances. I mean, Florida last week scored 1 touchdown against UNC Charlotte and then proceeded to kick 5 field goals. So I'm not overly worried.
At least they got field goal kicker.
True. But I'm not overly worried about Florida's ability to, like, run it up. I don't think Kentucky turns around and is down 21 points unless they throw in picks.
Well, let's move on to a different matchup. Guys, this matchup just got very interesting. A&M versus Arkansas. And the reason why I say that is because Connor Weigman, the starting quarterback, is out for the season now instead of a couple weeks. So, Max Johnson starting.
I think I picked Texas A&M on this one before we found out that Connor Wegman is out.
Yeah.
Plus, I will be at this game. Arkansas, this is your get right game. It's going to be in Cherrysville.
So if I'm not mistaken, for the record, you're switching your pick from A&M to Arkansas.
100%.
Kobe, are you switching to Arkansas?
Probably not.
Get right game.
You know you want the pit boss.
You know I want to. You know I love riding my
This is the get right. This is the get right game. This is the get right game.
I really do.
The get right game.
I think here's the problem, and I agree with you on this. I think, and I hate to say this out loud because I think it'd be the dumbest thing Arkansas could do. I think if Arkansas loses this game, there's a massive target on Sam Pittman's back about possibly being fired at the end of the season. And
100%.
I think it would be a terrible thing. I guess if I'm Arkansas, who else is running that program? I guess at some point. But I also understand the expectations.
Go get Mel Tucker.
I understand the expectations of you have KJ Jefferson, you have Rocket Sanders, you have all these receivers that are, good enough for the SEC play.
The problem is that, like, Dwight McLaughlin and Jaheim Singletary getting fucking cooked, though, man. Like that secondary is getting torched.
And that was their problem last year, too. I mean, they were like 125th out of 132 schools in pass defense last year.
Yeah.
I don't think that bodes well versus Texas A&M and their receiving core. Also,
This is what we've got right here. Kobe, it sounds like you're sticking with A&M, correct? So the only thing different that I'm catching is Keon should be the pig. So we'll make that change when we drop our graphic for
riding with bacon bits.
Riding with bacon bits.
Now we're cooking with grease.
And hog.
Yeah, totally. Charlotte's Web. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
Man, speaking of Tiger versus Rebels. Old LSU going to the Grove. Ole Miss. What are we thinking, guys? Ole Miss did not.
I'll tell you what I'm thinking, and it's going to piss me off if it happens. This feels like one of those games that Lane Kiffin rolls into and hangs 60 on somebody because they're not paying attention. They just watched them only put up 10 at Alabama, and LSU rolls in, riding high, and Lane Kiffin comes out and is like a wizard and scores 55 against them. I hope not. I hope LSU.
Well, for the sake of this, Juan thinks that because he's the only one going Ole Miss. Could this be the Bama pick from last week? Oh boy, how ironic that would be.
I pray. I think LSU has a better team, but
they do. Their receivers alone are going to cause Ole Miss a fuck ton of fits.
Malik Neighbors is going to go off, and my fantasy team is going to win yet again. I'm undefeated.
Huge.
It's beautiful.
Huge. It's huge.
It's going to be huge.
It's going to be
amazing.
It's going to be great, I tell you.
We're going to win.
Just great.
Again.
Big time.
Again. We're going to win every game. It's not even going to be close.
Juan, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're just wrong.
You're fat.
Crooked one. Just terrible one. Just human being.
Make my
I'm just kidding, Juan. We love you. We love you. We miss you. Come back. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Next matchup, guys. This is going to be interesting. South Carolina, Tennessee.
Woo! Yeah.
Now that's what the fuck I call getting hyped. That's what I call getting hyped. This has revenge tour written on it for the Vols and a statement game for South Carolina. Right? Spencer Rattler, Xavier Legette look like one of the best wide receiver quarterback duos in the country. Arguably, for sure, the SEC. Arguably the country. Not saying the best, but I'm saying there's some conversations that should be had, in my opinion. Average Joe looking a little rough right here and there. Handle business against UTSA, but this is not your UTSA squad. In Neyland Stadium, not in Columbia like last year, here is what the results show. the Brigade and Keon are riding with the Gamecocks. Keon, feeling a little bit cocky there. Kobe, Juan, and myself go Vols. And the reason, I'll give you my reason why I think Tennessee can win this game and what they have to do to win this game. Their defensive line pressures Rattler enough. I think you have to do that because, for what it's worth, they have gotten better. Tennessee has gotten better defensively along the defensive line. I think getting pressures, getting to the quarterback, they have gotten, in my opinion, better at that. Back end still needs some work. I think offensively they need some work. However, I think this offense, this offense can establish the run, win the line of scrimmage because, well, let's be honest, South Carolina's offensive line is a deficiency. And the defensive line for Tennessee has to take advantage of that. And I think Tennessee's offensive line has to get the ground game going. If they can do that, take some pressure off of Joe Milton, I think Tennessee wins this. That's why I have them winning it. Keon,
go ahead, Kobe.
Oh. Kobe's thinking.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm on a different page scrolling through Tennessee statistics. I think the problem would be, honestly, I think the whole point of this game is going to be, can South Carolina stop the big ball from Joe Milton, and can he consistently hit the big ball when need be? I think that is 100% Tennessee's game plan. That is like, come in, we're going to run the ball to soften you up a little bit on the outside and give us one-on-ones, and then we're going to try to hit you, beat you deep for a 40-plus yard touchdown. And unless you can stop that, you're in trouble. And it's the kind of thing Florida did. Florida controlled the ball. Florida ran the ball. Tennessee got off the field quickly. And then Florida just ate clock on them. I mean, they'd go for 8-minute drives and score touchdowns. And this game's going to be similar. This game's going to be one like all games, but especially you got to get to the red zone and you got to score 7s, not 3s. South Carolina, if you're down there and you kick a couple field goals, you better watch out because all of a sudden this is the kind of game that you could look up and be down 21-6.
Keon, go for it. Talk cock to us.
Whoa.
Well, that's you picked it. You picked the cocks, man.
Kobe, when's the last time outside of South Carolina you can say that you heard of a team running out of fireworks?
Probably never.
They have a quarterback in Tennessee that can't hit the bright side of a barn at 11 a.m. in Texas in July. So what I'm saying is that deep shot shit, it's either going to be an incompletion or it's going to be a pick.
You didn't put overthrow.
Over, you're right. He might just give the football to the people in row 26. He doesn't have it. The roster's just not there. You're looking at a completely different South Carolina team than what we've seen in years past. These guys really do mean business, and I think South Carolina is going to come out there with a strong game plan. Spencer Rattler, he knows what it takes to beat them. He knows what he has to do. I don't think that they're going to have an answer for Leggett. I don't think that they're going to have an answer for, of course, South Carolina's running game. I think overall the offense is going to be what you see that helps separate this game. Defensively, yet again, Tennessee might be able to run the ball. I mean, unless Joe Milton wants to fully commit to being a running back, as some would probably think he should. I mean, him throwing the ball deep, that's not working. It's not going to work. I mean, his best option for success here would be to dink and dunk, but yet again, we know what that looks like because, we saw that in the Florida game. I don't think this is going to be close. I wonder what the spread is for this game.
I'm sure Kobe can pull it up for you just a second. But in the meantime, I think it'll be an interesting game nonetheless. Just thinking about it, I think the defense, it could be
12, Tennessee.
Okay. There you go. 12 points. Guys, let's move out of the SEC. Let's go national.
Let's go national.
Guys,
Oh God. Oh God.
why y'all so little? We're finna run through your ass.
Yeah, no, I like what Prime is doing out there in Colorado. I think that it's great what I think he's attempting to do. But to everybody that had them going with 10 wins, you're crazy. They got to play them teams, and they just lost to one of them teams. With Oregon, USC is about to do some dirty things to that Colorado defense.
You mean offensively? Because that defense ain't fucking non-existent. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
I mean, I'm not just saying that because they have Bear Alexander over there. You're going up against some of the big dogs of the conference at this point in time in the schedule. I just don't see a world where Colorado wins.
Zachariah Branch will go the fuck off Saturday.
No, 100%. I'm just glad I'm not playing up against this guy in fantasy this week. That shit was last week. Thank God.
So listen, I think Colorado will be able to put some points on the board, but to be even in close contention with this matchup, I think you have to be perfect, and I just don't know if that happens. With that being said, everyone picks the Trojans. We'll look at this and come back if we're wrong, but for now, Colorado, listen, this is the gauntlet. We're not picking on you.
Take a guess. Take a guess at the spread, both of you.
28.5.
28 points.
Wow. Y'all are very close to one another. 21.
They win by 28, though.
Yeah, definitely.
21 and a half.
So we were touched off.
Yeah.
You have to either kick the field goal or score 28.
Keon, to be honest, that was pretty well timed out, and consider we never talked about that.
Nice. Yeah, we never had that conversation too. That's the crazy thing.
Guys, I think this game is going to be interesting. And
over under 63.
Okay, let me look.
I'm gonna say over under 65.
Whenever you're ready.
I think you smashed over on that shit regardless. Yeah, that's about right.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
God. No defense. What?
It wasn't anywhere. I can find it quick.
74 and a half.
That's so many points, dude.
USC is 2-4 in its last 6 games against the spread.
Dude, I mean, that's 21 points, 3 tutties. I mean, that defense got to keep Colorado out of the end zone. I just don't know how much they do that. But either way, let's move to the Big 12, guys. Move to the Big 12, Kansas and Texas. Guys, if you don't recall, Texas got back on the right track last year, beating Kansas, because 2 years ago, Kansas beat Texas, right? In this matchup, listen, Jalen Daniels looks fairly good over there in Kansas. Leipold is looking good as a coach. But I just think in this matchup, what it should look like, Texas across the board. All right. For what it's worth, you have A.D. Mitchell. You need to utilize him. And you got all the talent in the world on offense. And I think you're getting better on defense. Still not a world beater defense, but you're doing good on defense.
I'm just here to say, if we are not all unanimously right on this one pick, the following show, I'm giving you 30 minutes of just this one game. I promise you, I'm not saying nothing else about we can beat Auburn 100 to -5. I don't care. If we don't win this pick, We got to have a serious conversation about the University of Texas.
So be on the lookout for
And
Saturday, folks, because if
What's
this
that?
happens, expect to stay late.
Oh, this is gonna be a twofer. We're gonna be here for a minute.
Oh boy.
Your statistics, man, over here. Texas 16.5-point favorites. Under over set at 61.5.
I think you go under. I think Texas defense holds them off a little bit, but Texas probably scores in the 30s. 30 to like give it like maybe like a 31 to 14, yeah.
Texas better win this, bro. I swear to God.
Now, here's a matchup. Now, moving on to our next to last pick. This matchup, I'm excited as shit for this. Notre Dame traveling to Duke in Durham, taking on Riley Leonard and that Duke Blue Devil squad. Guys, I think this matchup.
We should be unanimous on this.
Are you sure?
Oh, 100%.
Keon, if I'm not mistaken, you picked something that we're not 100% agreeing on, though.
For this one, I definitely picked Duke.
Yeah.
I thought I picked Duke for this.
You did pick Duke, but everyone else picked Notre Dame.
Whoa. So y'all think the 10-player team is about to go out here and beat 11 players on the field?
I'll give you this. It hurt me to fucking say that. And the reason why
this is the man that ride and die with Duke, and he's picked against them twice.
The whole season long.
How are they gonna make the ACC championship losing to Notre Dame?
It's out of conference.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They start losing, it happens to everybody.
Hear me out, though.
Losing, it's losing.
Hear me out.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes, Notre Dame. Yeah, your team is trash. You were on that segment. However, I just think that this game is such a toss-up. You got to go. I had to go with my head and not my heart. I want Duke to win. I think Duke can win. This matchup is so close. I legitimately think it could go either fucking way. So it is what it is. I think they win like a fucking nail biter, though. Just my opinion.
5.5. Notre Dame's favored by 5.5 points. Under over 51.5. That is a disgusting under over.
Yeah, I think it's under though.
I mean,
really?
You need it to be 20.
This game's gonna be this for 4 quarters. I don't know how many points you throw up.
28-21 would hit the under.
But I mean, I can see a situation where defense comes to play, but at the same time, I can see it smashing the over too. But like both quarterbacks, I think if it goes over, it's because both quarterbacks played lights out, which can fucking happen. By the way, it can happen. I'm just curious.
Not with 10 players, it can't.
Listen, if they're not running the ball, if you're passing the ball, Riley Leonard, things can change. However, I am curious to see how Duke handles this somewhat. I say there's a talent gap there, for what it's worth. I'm curious to see if Duke handles it. Listen, we thought the same thing with Clemson, right? I was wrong with Clemson. I might be wrong with Notre Dame. And if that's the case, Duke in the ACC title game. Fuck what anyone says. That's what's going to happen. But I'm going Notre Dame on this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, yeah, I think Duke's a legit team nonetheless. Regardless of this outcome, I think Duke's a legit team. So you got to be honest with it right here.
Y'all are hearing it here first. I'm closing the gap this week.
Either that or you about to get fucking gap yourself.
I'm not lying though.
Yeah,
it's a tough week, and I definitely like some of Keon's picks. Especially, I do like the South Carolina pick, probably the most out of any of them.
Yeah. I think the Duke pick is better than anything because I at one point put Duke and then I switched. I was that close to keeping Duke.
Mm.
We should have all been unanimous on that after watching that.
I don't know, man.
Performance.
I don't know. We'll see.
We're going to come back.
Sam Hartman's going to have a big comeback game.
I'll tell you this.
Okay.
All right, here we go, guys. Obviously, the one that counts, Deep South Sodas Rivalry. I don't think we've talked it ad nauseum already, but here's our results. There's your result.
Yeah,
that's exactly
100%. Yeah.
Deep South's oldest ass whooping.
Oh, I mean, if you are listening on podcast,
make that joke.
Mark 22. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, you're missing it. Yeah, it's about to be a deep South old rivalry right there.
Yeah, Georgia. So, I don't even think it's fucking close. I don't think it's close
I
at
don't
all.
think this game was close either. I think we covered the spread easily.
And for those of you that are listening,
that's crazy to say.
For those of you who are listening, the spread is 14.5 now, and the under over. This is where I think all the money is going to be made. Under over is at 47.5.
Yeah, that's under all the way.
I like that for under. That's got 35-10 written all over.
Dude, you're looking at hear me out. You're looking at Georgia having to score all these fucking points because I know Auburn won't be able to. They won't be able to score that much. That's just what it is. So I mean, if we come back here Monday and we crack the over, we might have some discussions. Just gonna leave it there. sounds like
last year it was 42-10 last year was final score.
So I mean, maybe they look at that. Maybe they look at that concept, but
I'd take that. I think that they look at we get up big early. We play a bunch of second string, third string guys late. Maybe Auburn sneaks one in to pop the over. I'd take 42-10 just for the record.
So that's your score prediction? 42-10?
No, it's not, but I would take it. Okay. If we came home winning 42-10, I'd be happy, man.
Let's do our score prediction for this game. I've got 31-3.
I was about to say, let me do some quick mental maths.
I think 31-3.
I'll say 45-9.
I like that. I like let's see. 28's 4, 35. Give me 38 to like 6. They kick 2 field goals. Don't get an end zone though.
Fair enough. Either way, they're getting it doggy style. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby.
Oh boy. Locks of the week. Here we go. Keon, you're gonna have to do some explaining once this is settled here.
Keon, we're gonna have to talk.
Just gonna let you, this next one we got to talk. Keon chooses Texas, his lock over Kansas. He's locking it down. Kobe, you're choosing Penn State over Notre Dame. I'm choosing Washington over Arizona. But hey, where's Juan at? Because Juan, his lock. I need Juan to discuss this Colorado ass whipping. Where's Juan? Please, somebody find him. But yeah, he chose USC over Colorado as on brand for Juan as that is. I'm not gonna lie.
I need y'all to understand how badly that Texas could really screw me over.
You just wait.
And that it's
wait.
Nothing.
Just wait 1 second.
On this because the upset pick is Kansas over Texas.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Explain this logic, please. You had any choice of any game, and you chose your upset and your lock to be the same game. So basically, you wash out.
Yeah.
Explain this, please.
All right, bring the camera back. Yeah. We can do the whole zeroing out so everybody can focus in on me if we can for a quick second. I just want to make sure I got everybody here. All right. I can explain. So, if I'm wrong, I'm right. But see, if I'm right, boy, am I fucking wrong. But see, here's the thing. When I'm right, though, it works. No harm, no foul. We're taking it easy. But if I'm wrong, that means I was right. So which means I'm still wrong. Right? 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left. Knick-knack, paddywhack. Give all good dogs a go Dawgs. and a bone at Bones. That's it.
You're muted, Robert.
That's it. You are.
We
muted.
gonna send it. Drunk off that Henny. Send it.
Yeah, that's
Send
it. Yeah. No, I was. I was out of there.
All right, let's pull this back up. Let's pull this back up. Upsets of the week. Obviously, we know Keon's, but now, Kobe, you got Utah over Oregon State. Juan went with the Duke pick over Notre Dame to kind of try to balance that out. I went Houston over Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech starting quarterback, I think, is still out. And if that's the case, I think Houston can capitalize on that. And kind of similar to what West Virginia did, because if West Virginia can, I swear Houston better. Just leaving it there.
So I just want to double check, right? So if Texas wait, I just want to make sure that
we gotta break this down. Let's break this down.
All right, elementary style, right? So if one fish is two fish, we got to make sure that red fish. If it's not a blue fish, we're fucked. Okay, we are fucked. But seriously though, if Texas wins,
you get the point for the pick. Hold on, you get the point for the pick, right? And you wash because the upset didn't hit, but the lock did. If Kansas wins, you don't get the point for the pick, and you wash regardless. So for picking the lock in the upset, you basically wash in general.
Best case scenario, you get 1 point if Texas wins, because
that's from your picks. That's from your picks. Yeah, that's from your pick.
Worst case,
you just don't get one.
You get 0 points. You actually almost get like negative points because your pick misses. Your lock is -2, and your upset is +2. So you're like net minus a pick if the upset hits.
So what you're saying is if I'm right, I get a point, but if I'm wrong, nothing happens.
No, you lose a point technically because of the pick. The lock and the upset wash.
You don't really lose a point. Like, you don't physically lose a point, but like.
Yeah. So yeah, like if you went 8-2 and Texas was
so it won't. Yeah, so it won't be a part of my score. Is
ultimately you'll see. This was a tricky one because I wasn't expecting you to put.
Kind of like that Duke cover by Juan.
I do too. Sneaky little.
Oh yeah.
Slide
Y'all like that one?
Kind of thing
y'all like it?
Well, think about it this way though. If he's right, guess what? He gets a point anyway. Because he picked Notre Dame, so actually
you're definitely better to cover your ass with like one of your picks.
Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%.
Well,
I might have to talk after this.
No, it's once it's there, that's it. Remember, fellas? That's what y'all told me last week.
No, but we got to switch to fucking bacon bits because of that too, don't we? Either way. Guys, any final thoughts before we leave and come back Monday to talk about the Deep South Sauce Rivalry?
Texas, please, for the love of God, win this game so I can say I believed in you. Right? That upset pick is just an upset. That's a shot in the dark.
I said Georgia Auburn, not Texas.
No, we're beating them. That doesn't matter. There's no. It doesn't matter. They can come out there with holy water and not Gatorade. They're still getting their ass whooped.
Nah, hold on. Georgia about to baptize you.
Yeah,
in your own stadium.
And then my only thing I'm gonna say, and it's because I know he does not watch your show. Fall weddings suck ass.
No.
Because I will be at a wedding at 4 p.m. on Saturday for one of my friends.
That's not your friend.
That hurts.
That's not your friend.
That hurts.
No, it's not your friend. No, that's not your friend. That's not what a friend does.
Pause.
Hey, buddy.
Pause.
Hey, bud.
Pause. We have to bring him on Monday.
Yeah, we have to. Your
team is trash.
To that person.
Fall weddings are trash, and you have to deal with that.
First, so does he understand?
He played here.
Oh, who the fuck is it? Who is it?
I can't tell you.
No, you got to wait. Can you tell us off air?
Yeah, I can probably.
Okay.
Okay, first, before we move past that, whoever you are, sir, congratulations on getting married. It's a huge accomplishment. I don't want to diminish that at all.
I'm sorry.
But wait, time out. But also, you're an asshole. You gotta be an asshole.
Hold on. That probably wasn't his idea, or was it?
Oh yeah, that's true.
It definitely was not.
No, it
Okay.
wasn't.
It definitely.
Oh,
I
well,
don't
poor
think.
guy.
Listen, gentlemen, if either of you get married, it's never your idea when you're getting married. You're just told this will be the day you are to appear in the church, looking very dapper.
So let me take that back then. You know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You got to give us a go dogs in the wedding though. Like there's no way around that. Like I love you. You do the vows. Go dogs. Kiss. Let's eat cake and get drunk.
You're sitting here watching it. All of a sudden, you're just like, "Fuck yeah, touchdown!"
Hold up. You got to do that.
Is you're not alone.
Yeah.
You better not be alone in there too. I mean, that's right in the middle. Man. Kobe, yeah. You better put a headphone in, maybe.
Yeah.
I ain't got to hear it. I just got to watch it.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Guys, any final thoughts on Keon, Georgia, Auburn? Any final thoughts?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fuck you, Auburn. It's probably what we're gonna do, Auburn. Yeah, it's about to get X-rated.
Never faded.
Highly anticipated.
Shit. Guys, we still got a couple more days of Auburn Hate Week before we tee it up Saturday. You saw how we feel about you, Auburn. Dogman says congrats, but there are rules when it's college football season. Do not fuck with my Saturdays. I think that's the comment of the night. That's the comment of the night.
And here's the better. Here's the better one. Oh, we got another one next Saturday. Oh, next weekend. Ooh, I just remembered. I have another wedding next weekend, but it's a Sunday wedding.
Okay, off the hook. Good.
There it is.
Jeez, I was about to say, dude, your friends are terrible friends if that's the case.
Yeah, they gotta be terrible.
This one's up in PA, so this one's a little bit more in depth. So can't really get at it.
There
You'll be traveling on Saturday.
You might catch a Penn State game.
Oh, okay. So
next trip.
Gotcha. So we might not see you next week when coming back, maybe.
Yeah, probably not on Monday.
Keanu, we're riding duo here. That's fine.
Yeah,
guys, let's wrap this thing up. Auburn, I'm just going to let you know right now ahead of time because it's going to happen Monday. You're going to be in this segment, by the way. Your team is fucking trash. And you have to fucking deal with that. It's going to happen. We're going to baptize you in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Just simple as that.
I saw a post.
Unity
from an Auburn.
Sorry.
I saw a post from an Auburn fan that pretty much said, it's been years in between my life where I've seen us beat Georgia, so it's hard for me to celebrate this hate week. So what I tried to do is attack Georgia fans and their stupid inbred dog. And to that, I'll say is this. You can say whatever you want to about our dog, but there's one thing about our dog that's true with your fans. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. That's it.
That's dangerous.
You can draw the lines your damn self.
He's still in Alabama, so the rules apply.
Yeah, hey, look. A lot of those Auburn fans' family tree is a branch. You feel me? All right. Kobe, you want to close this out?
We'll see y'all on Monday.
Look at that. Simple. Keeping it simple. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.